This is your Egalitarian AF Truth Drop, Part 1, for January 15, 2026. Here to share independent news, media, and truth from the U.S. and around the globe. Let's get into it. Across Minneapolis, federal immigration enforcement has escalated into repeated violent confrontations with civilians. On January 14th, a federal agent with ICE shot a man in the leg during a traffic stop after authorities say he allegedly resisted arrest and struck an agent, according to the Department of Homeland Security. This incident comes amid what Governor Tim Walz has described as a campaign of organized brutality by federal agents in his state, with more than 3,000 officers deployed and Minneapolis leaders calling for de-escalation as protest grows. These developments show how federal power is being used not just for enforcement, but as a show of force to destabilize the cities, disproportionately affecting Black, brown, and migrant communities, a domestic projection of militarized policy that mirrors imperial occupation strategies abroad. Free Minneapolis. In Santa Ana, California, a young anti-ICE protester was left permanently blind in one eye after less lethal crowd control round was fired by a federal agent that struck his face at close range during a demonstration. Footage from the protest shows the youth was dragged by a federal officer as blood covered his face, even as he told agents he couldn't breathe. Advocates say the protest was part of nationwide demonstrations against ICE's tactics, including the fatal shooting of Renee Good. Today in the U.S. House of Representatives, H.R. 7006, a major funding package that includes additional military and security aid to Israel, passed with 153 Democrats voting in favor and 57 opposing. Among those voting for it were powerful Democratic leaders, including James Clyburn, Jasmine Crockett, Al Green, Hakeem Jeffries, Ro Khanna, Nancy Pelosi, and Maxine Waters. Figures who have significant influence within the party and are often seen as defenders of marginalized communities. This vote shows a deep divide between professed values of human rights and the political alliance with the state, whose ongoing occupation and military actions have been described as apartheid and have inflicted severe civilian harm, particularly in Gaza. By funding military aid without conditions, the U.S. government is enabling violence, complicit in violence that disproportionately affects Palestinian families. Free Palestine. Shame on these Democrats. And like I said before, she's not for us. Save this, share this, stay informed. Resisting normalization of violence is how systems lose their power. And then we also have to start thinking in broader terms of how we want our future to be, because we have the power ourselves to create not only our own lives, but we can create the world that we want to live in, a world that is free of oppression, a world where we are all free and where we are not having to pay just to exist. Free all oppressed people. This is your Egalitarian AF Truth Drop. Stay loud, stay aligned, stay egalitarian AF.